Euphoria Season 1. Hello everyone, I'm Joe Squared, and today we're going to be talking about Euphoria, a show that you've probably all been hearing about whether you've seen it or not. It is quite the craze with Season 2 currently coming out at the moment, so I thought I'd actually go back and watch Season 1, see what it's all about, and get myself up to date with this show. Now, Euphoria is really a deep dive into the lives of these teenagers at an American high school. It's really a look into their lives, why they're sort of fucked up in their own way, and just really taking a close look at sort of the emotional and physical trauma that they're all going through. Our main character of this show really is Zendaya. She's the one who does narration throughout a lot of the episodes, and the show mostly stays with her, but to be honest, the time is divided up very evenly around a lot of the characters, but she's just the one that probably gets the most out of everyone. But she's really the star of the show here, and the show mostly stays with her character because of her trouble with sobriety and the fact that she's been a drug addict in the past, and she's sort of flip-flopping back and forth between using drugs and not using drugs. Now, of course, with the characters in the show, it can certainly seem like it's doing the cliche teenagers in an American high school cliche, such as the hot girl who's a bitch, or the big buff football player who's a dickhead and a bully to everyone. But this show actually takes it to a different level, where it's doing these character deep dives on them, as pretty much all episodes will start off with a backstory to one of our main characters that Zendaya will narrate, and it will show their childhood experiences and childhood trauma and the stuff that shaped them into the character that they are now. So it's not a case of they're a dick or she's a bitch, it's a case of you understand why they are the way they are, and it justifies their actions and why they act the way they do. And these are always really fascinating to watch. It's always a really fascinating thing to start off an episode, because you're always wondering, who are we going to learn about in today's episode? Who's the backstory and deep dive going to be on? So that's always a fascinating part. No one in the show is treated as stupid, which is nice, because of the cliches some of these characters are potentially hitting. There's a chance that they're going to be treated as like idiots and not smart as other characters in the show, but they are actually all treated as being intelligent people. It's just they're all emotional and they've all got their own troubles going on, and because they explore that thoroughly and you get multiple angles and sides to the story, it really does develop their character more and make pretty much everyone in the show extremely interesting. So when it switches from one character to another, it's not a problem at all, because you're interested by whichever character you're going to go explore. And as the story progresses, I found that it tells a very, very fascinating story that's very engrossing. Whenever I watch an episode of this, or 2 or 3 episodes, I just zone out for that time. It really just sort of sucks me in. It's like I forget about the outside world whilst I'm watching it. It's like I've been pulled into this world. It really does that to you, and that's because it feels very authentic. It doesn't even feel like acting. It's almost like a fucking documentary. It feels like you are just with them, and this is a real thing that is unfolding in real life. And because of that, when you finish an episode, it kind of stays on your mind a little bit after. You'll be like, whoa, I hope that character's okay, or wow, I can't believe that happened, even though it didn't. Of course, with this being a TV show though, some stuff can come across as a bit dramatic. Maybe it can seem a bit like, well, that's kind of crazy just for some kids at high school and whatnot, but this show is kind of exploring the extremes in a sense, like the extremes of all these characters, what it could ultimately lead to for them as a character, and then all these extreme characters are going to the same school as each other, so therefore that's why you get these dramatic storylines unfolding. It's not really a criticism of the show though, it's just a case of you've got all these crazy characters sort of in one show, in one school, but that's what makes it so entertaining. I gotta say though, despite how good the story is, stylistically this show is just kind of on another level. Everything about it is so damn impressive. I'm talking about the camera work, the lighting, the soundtrack, which is fantastic in every episode. It's all just top tier. The editing, really, really good as well, very clever. And on top of that, it's all just really stellar acting, really, really top quality performances all around. It's highly impressive, and it looks very difficult to make. Just the quick editing, some of the stuff is so damn impressive. They really got creative with it and imaginative with it to make a very stylish show, and they've certainly done that. It's one of the most impressively, sort of edited shows I've seen. And honestly, I thought season 1 was very strong. I've only just sort of started watching season 2. I'm only a couple episodes in, so I'm trying to catch up before season 2 finishes. But yeah, season 1, was really strong, told a very interesting story from, you know, episode 1 to episode 8, I believe it was. And then there was also 2 specials that I watched after, because they're between season 1 and 2, and they were different. They were sort of like sticking with one character in each episode. So the first one stuck with Zendaya, and then the second one stuck with the character of Jules, who is someone that Zendaya is in love with. And it was like a therapy session for both. But you got to learn more about their character, which was cool. You know, it really kind of uncovered some more, so that was a nice little, almost like a break in Euphoria, because it's quite high tempo at times. It feels like there's a lot of character storylines going on, so these specials were pretty cool because they just sort of let you take a breather and just sort of listen. It's almost something you don't need to watch. You could just listen to it and learn, you know, everything you need to, and those were nice little episodes to have in between. They lowered the intensity a little bit, and as I've started watching season 2, the intensity is very high again, but I'm loving it. It's a real good time. Honestly, the show is really impressive. I can understand why everyone's raving about it. It's just sort of full on. It's all out. You know, you see a lot, you hear a lot. It's very intense, but it is really good, you know, television, and it's a great show. You know, HBO don't really seem to miss with the stuff they bring out. It is really good. There's not much I can fault about this show. I feel like it's doing a lot of things right, and season 2 seems to be continuing on with that and doing really well. Also, so I would give Euphoria season 1, including the specials, a 9 out of 10. Let me know if you've seen Euphoria. You know, what do you think about it? Because it has surprised me how good of a show it is. Obviously, it's easy to judge when you just, you know, hear people talking about it. You think, that's probably not that good, but it genuinely is. And season 2 seems to be following along with that. And I'll be back soon, in a week or 2, with a season 2 review as well. Thank you all for watching. I've been Joe Squared, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.